Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a couple weeks since we made a video. There go two monarchs, dear.
Yeah.
So monarch butterflies do happen to like red clover. That's something we've learned for years, and obviously bumblebees. We'll hear some bumblebees here in a little while. There are birds chasing the monarch. See him right over there? See it?
Yes, I hope he doesn't get it.
I don't think birds like them too much. Yeah, I see the bug. Now you just sit there and be quiet, Boo Man. So, red clover for hay. We're at the first cutting of clover. First thing I want to say, you saw swathing there at the start. Obviously, you want to crimp red clover. So red clover's problem is that it's hard to dry. And in these bottom grounds, the clover plant gets incredibly tall. And when it gets tall, then it starts to go down. And so it's a very stemmy plant in our bottom ground. And your concern about making clover hay is getting it to dry. So the first thing, crimp. You have got to have the crimping rolls set down hard. If you have a New Holland rubber on rubber roll swather and your rolls get worn, it just won't crimp red clover so that it will dry appropriately. If red clover doesn't dry appropriately, then you get the white mold in the bales. And some white mold the cows like, but that's a white mold. It's possible to have red clover hay that the cows just won't eat. So we're worried about getting it dry. So we run a Heston swather. We have a tie core on a steel roll, and so we're able to crimp these big, fat, thick stems. So I've got the crimper set down tight. The other thing about drying red clover is that my tractor is row crop width on the tires. And so these swaths, I've got my swath pulled in tight. You know, people talk about laying your swath out so you can get it to dry. But what I'm worried about with that tractor is I don't want to drive on the swaths. If I drive on the swaths, it will pack the clover down. And if you pack the clover down, it just won't dry. So we need these big, airy swaths. Even with the maximum amount of crimping, and we've got good 85, 90 degree weather, maximum amount of crimping, it will take 3 days for this clover to dry. And so I'm starting to mow. It's right after noon. I'm mowing in the heat of the day when the sugar content on the red clover is the highest. Got my crimper set. I'm pulling my swaths so that I'm not driving over it when I come back on the next pass, and walk away for 2 days. After 2 good drying days, that third morning, come back and rake it one time and put it into a big windrow, walk away, and come back late on the third day to bale it. When you do that, you can usually, if you have good drying weather, you can get it down to where it's good dry hay and the cows like it. So, timing of the mowing. When we're looking at this swath here, we're starting to see some brown heads. The old timers talked about a quarter of the heads being brown or half of them being brown in order to get the clover to dry at all. Of course, they were sickle bar mowing it, and they were not crimping it, so they had a harder time getting the clover to dry, and they let it get a little more mature. We like to come out here when 10% of the heads are brown. I also like to get out here sooner rather than later. If you can mow clover when over half the heads are still purple, then the regrowth that I'm going to take for seed, you have a lot better chance of getting seed. Obviously, if the longer you wait and we get towards the middle of June here, then the probabilities of taking a good seed crop, they decrease through time. And so you want to get out here early. You want to get out here when you have drying time. And hopefully we get 3 dry days now. Thanks, guys.